Dubai real estate market doesn't just build skyscrapers, it builds fortunes. We've all seen it. Over the last few years, it's been an incredible gold rush with property value exploding by nearly 60% between 2022 and 2025. It feels like every other week a new impossible luxurious tower is announced and investors from all over the world are lining up for a piece of the pie. But here's a number that should make everyone from the big shot investor to the casual observer take a pause. Developers are planning to unleash a huge wave of around 200,000 new homes in the next 2 years, which means that a record-breaking supply increase is about to smash head-on into record-breaking prices. This is the ultimate stress test for the market. So the question is not if things are going to change, but how much. So what's happening here? Is the music going to stop? Is the infamous bubble that we hear about finally going to burst? Or is the foundation of Dubai's market solid enough to take a hit and just keep climbing? So you've seen the headlines, you've seen the drone shot of those futuristic skylines. But underneath all that gloss, there is a serious battle between insane growth and the basic laws of supply and demand. In this video, we are going to get into the real data. We will look at the powerful forces that fueled that crazy boom, from smart government policies to massive flood of new people moving into the city. Then we are going to face the elephant in the room, that huge wave of new properties and what it really means for the prices. This is not about hype or wild guesses, it's about understanding what is really moving the market. By the end, you will have a much clearer picture of whether Dubai is heading for a painful crash or if the boom is somehow about to get even bigger. Let's get into it. To figure out where Dubai is headed, you first have to get your head around how we got here. This boom was not some happy accident, it was a result of a perfectly engineered machine designed to pull in two things: people and money. First, the people. The city is just a bunch of empty buildings without them, and Dubai has been attracting new residents like a magnet. In the first quarter of 2025 alone, the city packed in nearly 90,000 new people. That's about 1,000 people showing up every single day. The population has blown past 3.9 million and is on the clear path to hit 4 million by the end of this year. This is not random, it's a direct result of some very strategic government moves. The biggest game changer has been the Golden Visa program, I believe. Launched back in 2019, the long-term residency visa lets investors, entrepreneurs and talented professionals plan real roots in the UAE. Just think about the mental shift here. People are not thinking about a 2-year work contract in Dubai anymore, they are thinking about building a life, starting a business and planning a future. The policy turns temporary expat into long-term stakeholders and homeowners, which creates real sticky demand for the property market. This population boom is all part of a much bigger vision for the city's future, the Dubai 2040 Urban Master Plan. It's a complete project of what Dubai can be. The goal is to make Dubai the best city in the world to live in with a huge focus on quality of life. We are talking a massive expansion of parks and green spaces, a 400% increase in public beaches, and the development of self-contained sustainable communities. And a key part of this is a 20-minute city idea, where you can get to 80% of what you really need within a 20-minute walk or bike ride. This focus on livability makes the city way more attractive, not just as a place to work, but as a place to actually call home. And finally, you've got the rock-solid economy. Dubai economy is not just about oil these days. It's projected to grow by nearly 5% in 2025, with tourism, finance and tech all firing on all cylinders. The policies that allow 100% foreign ownership of businesses have opened the floodgates for global entrepreneurs, creating jobs and, you guessed it, more demand for housing. So when you mix explosive population growth, a visionary plan for the future and a booming economy, you get the perfect recipe for a red-hot real estate market. That is the bull case in a nutshell, a market driven by real demand from a growing and wealthier population. Okay, so the boom has been massive, but as any smart investor will tell you, trees don't grow to the sky. And for every charging bull, there is a bear hiding around the corner. For Dubai, that bear is made of concrete, glass and steel, a truly massive wave of new properties set to flood the market. Let's circle back to that number from the beginning. Between now and the end of 2026, developers are planning to deliver around 200,000 new homes. To put that into perspective, that's more than double the number of the homes delivered in the last 3 years combined. Fitch Ratings predict this supply surge will cause an average 16% jump in housing supply every year between 2025 and 2027. Basic economics tell you exactly what happens when the supply starts to overwhelm the demand. Prices get pushed down. Several major analysts are now calling for a price correction. Fitch Ratings, for one, is predicting a price drop in the ballpark of 10 to 15% starting in the second half of 2025 and continuing into 2026. This is not some wild guess, it's a forecast based on the sheer number of homes about to hit the market. Even with Dubai's impressive population growth, which is expected to be around 5% a year, is still projected to be slower than the growth of the housing supply. You can already see the market starting to tap the brakes. While prices were still up in early 2025, the rate of growth is slowing down. It is a sign that the market is starting to feel the weight of all that future supply. For landlords, it could mean more empty apartments and weaker rental returns, which already dipped a bit to an average of 7.4% in early 2025. For sellers, it means more for sale signs to compete with. But, and this is a big but, there is a catch. Those headline supply numbers might be scarier on paper than in reality. If you look at Dubai's history, only a fraction of the announced projects actually get delivered on time. A recent report from Morgan's International Realty estimates that only about 62% of the homes planned for 2025 will actually be finished this year. For 2026, this number could be as low as 48%. Between 2022 and 2024, the completion rate was just 56%. Construction delays and funding problems often mean that the wall of supply turns out to be more of a gradual slope. So this does not mean that the risk is gone, but it does mean that the market may have more time to absorb everything. Still, the massive scale of what is being built is the single and biggest test that Dubai market is facing right now. So we have these two opposing forces right now. On one hand, the market, on the other hand, the huge supply that is threatening to push the prices down. And where does that leave us? Are we looking at an epic crash, or will the party just keep going? The most likely answer is neither. What we are probably heading for is not a dramatic 29 style crash, but a much needed market correction or stabilization. Today's Dubai is fundamentally different from the Dubai of 15 years ago. The market is way more mature, regulations are tighter, and there is more transparency, and the buyers are also different. This boom is being driven by both the short-term flippers and also the end users who are actually living in those apartments. Because remember that more and more people are planning to stay in Dubai for a longer term thanks to the golden visa, and that creates a much more stable foundation. So that 10-15% price drop that the analysts are talking about, it should be seen as a recalibration, not as a collapse. And I believe that after prices shot up nearly 60% in just a couple of years, a cool down is not just expected, it's healthy. It will let the market catch its breath and find a more sustainable pace. Now, this correction won't hit the whole city equally. Dubai is not one single market, it's a patchwork of dozens of little micro markets, and they are all going to react differently. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, but I believe that prime locations like Palm Jumeirah, Emirates Hill and downtown Dubai will likely be pretty much bulletproof, because these are trophy assets with very limited supply and a timeless global appeal. The demand over there is driven by the global elite looking for a safe place to park their cash, and they are probably not as bothered by wider market swings. The real pressure is going to be felt in the mid-range and affordable areas, especially out in the suburbs where most of the new constructions is happening. I'm thinking places like Jumeirah Village Circle or Business Bay, because a lot of apartments are planning to be handed over in the next couple of years over there. and that's where the increased competition will likely cause more noticeable price drops. Even so, the demand for moving-ready homes in good communities is still strong, which should put a floor on how far prices can realistically fall. And beyond this correction, the long-term picture still looks positive. The things driving the bull case are not going anywhere. The Dubai 2040 plan will keep making the city a better place to live, and the population is set to grow, and Dubai's place as a global hub is secure. We are just seeing a shift from a period of wild and frantic growth to a more stable and healthy market. So what is the final verdict on Dubai's real estate market? The gold rush era, the period of crazy double-digit prices hikes everywhere you look, is probably over. We are stepping into a new phase now, one that's going to be about moderation and being selective. A price correction of 10-15% seems likely, especially in those areas getting flooded with new supply, but this is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of a market that is growing up, the real underlying demand from a growing population, and a clear vision for the future provide a strong safety net that makes a 2009 style crash very unlikely. I believe that the people who will win in this situation will be the ones who can look past the scary headlines and think long term. Prime locations will hold their value, and the correction in the mid-tier area could open up some amazing buying opportunities for those who know where to look. That's why personally I am now selling my units that are located in those markets, because I want to sit on the cash and probably reinvest when the opportunity comes in. But that's my take. Now let me ask you, what do you think? Are you a bull or a bear on Dubai property market? Have you invested there, or are you thinking about it? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below, and I promise I read every single one of them. And if you found this breakdown useful and you want more deep dive into the Dubai property market, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you don't miss the next one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.